Ella was admitted to Crumlin Hospital in April 2021 and she spent 595 days in hospital.
You know, because you're behind a lot of stuff, because you've spent a long time there, so you don't know what's going to happen.
I think one of the hardest parts about it, about the whole situation of having sick kids, is that as much as people, you know, try their best to be empathetic and put themselves in your shoes, like, unless you have a sick child yourself, it's really difficult to, it's really difficult to understand how difficult it is.
She defied a lot of odds, but unfortunately we did spend her entire life in hospital apart from 12 days that we did get her home.
I went, I think it was 2016, and I stayed till 2019.
There's a lot of worries. When you're following an ambulance, blue lighting down the road, it doesn't even come into your mind until you're sitting in a hospital corridor. Where am I going to stay tonight? Where is my next meal going to come from? How are we going to afford this?
We'd be a very close family and suddenly we're kind of in different parts of the country. So I think managing family and that separation piece was really difficult initially.
They say it takes a village to rear a child. It takes a universe to raise a child that's got complex needs.
I suppose you're worrying how it's going to affect the children that are at home, you know. I was away for 2.5 years.
I think a big part of it for us at the time was Rian being so young. He was only 3.5, and so kind of at an age where he was probably too young to be with us up there, but probably not old enough to understand why Mommy and Daddy were going to be in Dublin a lot.
By total chance happened to meet a parent who told me about the Ronald McDonald on the ward. So once I heard that, I called over and met Jenny, and the rest was history.
The Ronald McDonald house is like a 5-star hotel.
Yeah,
when we got
I remember when we walked around it the first day, we couldn't get over how nice it was.
Just having a shower for the first time in
like having
proper
the
shower
room.
in 4 days or something like that.
I just couldn't get over how clean it was, how lovely staff were, just, you know, having the kitchen facilities, having the laundry room. Like at this point I was buying underwear and clothes for Fiach nearly daily from Dunn's because we hadn't obviously packed. We didn't even think we were going to be in hospital for a couple of nights, don't mind months.
One of the really nice things was you had your own room and you had your own bathroom and everything. They're the little bits people don't realise that are really important when you're living so far away from home.
We never saw it as a house. No. We always called it our second home, you know? The proximity was good, you know, from a financial perspective it was good. But we were able to do so many things there that we wouldn't have been able to do in the hospital.
Unfortunately, with hospital stays, there's good and bad days, and some days, you know, things don't look great for the child, and it's very difficult to leave. And I think if I was leaving to go half an hour away, I'd have found that nearly impossible to do.
That type of camaraderie amongst people that may not be exactly in the same position as you, but quite similar, so they're going through the same type of stuff, and it's just people you can chat to about hospital or not about hospital at all. So it's great to have that escape, I suppose, from the acute hospital environment over to the house.
That's the way the house was. You'd go over, you could leave your worries behind, sit down, have a chat with somebody else, and it wasn't always just hospital talk.
And they always looked after us, like, you know, they always kind of had our backs.
Aria loved coming into the house because it was a different sense of atmosphere, do you know? And she would always be greeted. Always be greeted like a princess. If there was a red carpet there, I'm sure it would have been rolled out for her going over.
We'd kind of just like hang out around the place, and it just feel like kind of a bit of like normal like living when we were over there.
My favourite part was probably like the outdoor area, because I remember one time I had my birthday and it was really fun.
And memories wise, the Ronald McDonald house is what gave us our memories with Aria. It's where Aria met her brother for the very first time, so that's huge. And our family got to come down and see her there for her birthday, and We've so many memories from the house.
I used to describe the Ronald McDonald in one word as sanctuary.
I would have to say it was our second home.
Homely.
I don't know. I don't have one word. I couldn't put it into one word. How great the Ronald McDonald house was.
Fun.
Big.
I'm going to use two. It's just life-saving.
Absolute hope. We found hope and kindness, and sometimes that's all we had was hope. When your whole life's turned upside down and you've got no control of what's going to happen, the only thing that you've got to grab onto is hope, and we got hope from the house.